Welcome back to The Good Talk, our post-game recap and Q&A show where we discuss the game that we just played and answer all your burning questions, both Warhammer and otherwise. We just came off the debut game between the forces of the brand new Chaos Demons Codex and the old Death Guard book.
I'm old grandpa right now.
You're old poppy right now.
Yeah. It's nice to see the evolution, though, between the two codex, from the oldest to the newest.
And this was one of the very first ones.
Right. So it was really cool to see the interplay. It's like, yeah, this still packs a lot of heat, has really cool rules, but you can also see the design philosophy behind where they're like, we know what this army is supposed to feel like, and they do a very good job in the Demons Codex.
Yeah, exactly. And we could see how they were both designed. You know, you had a very well-oiled machine. I thought all the parts were working well. You kind of have honed that down. The Demons, despite performing well today, we kind of saw where it was like crazy spikes and then drops and then kind of a lot of inefficiencies in the list because we're learning how that all comes together.
There is a lot of very cool interplay that you just don't expect. Yeah. Like, one of the things that caught me super off guard was Adrian started charging my vehicles with his Zeech units, which now have a 3-up. I am not getting my vehicles out of combat. Yep. And was able to lock him down, and that just destroyed me on the primary game.
That was huge, because normally you're like, well, you don't want to get close.
Yep.
But if it's a shooting unit, then 100%, you're still getting those 3-up saves. So that was cool. That was awesome. It was a great game.
It was really cool just from seeing it. Like, we can talk about Death Guard, but like they're fine. But really, just the Demon Codex was just highlighting is that they cut away kind of because they have to focus on these 4 individual, essentially these books, which is what really cool. That's cool in the Demon Codex. All the different sections are called like the Book of Bloodshed or like the Book of Excess. And these factions is like, because they have to narrow the focus, they just put in what these armies need and what they're good at. And this hyper fixation on like what roles they do makes them very strong. It's just like they don't put like weird melee thing for the Zeech things, even though in the back they're like warp fire weapons or whatever. Instead they're like, they're good at casting and here's some buffs for shooting and not getting hit.
And that makes for a very streamlined book design, but also very efficient, right? Yeah. If you're not paying for the things that don't matter, if you're not paying for higher strength and weapon skill on a shooting unit, or vice versa, frankly, then that's great, you know?
This book has a lot of depth, but it was very quick to figure out like what things did and like what they were good at.
Almost like as soon as we started even just picking secondaries and putting them all on the board, I was like, okay, I can see where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And then we played more and it was like, okay, I can see what's working and see what's not working, which, you know, good time to talk about. I love the Great Unclean one, but I still remain skeptical. He's not crazy expensive. He's 300, and I paid to upgrade him with the extra points.
Which is completely fair.
It is fair. But I also, like, you think of things I can get for that.
I don't know. I'm kind of in the...
Oh, yeah?
I'm in the opposite boat where he was terrifying that you could have had all your other units, but my eyes were glued on the Greater Unclean one and Bellicor, which is a whole other beast. And kind of what you're saying is, like, I think the Great Unclean one's good. I think running 2 or 3 of those, scary. Like, if you're doing an all Nurgle list, like, you want to diversify, you want to have the buffs, but the single god list with lots of these greater demons are terrifying. You don't really know how to deal with that pressure, and no one has the tools to take them down. Yeah. And so I'm very excited to see how the other ones perform, because the Greater Unclean is fantastic. He's, I think, top tier, but I think all the other ones are just better.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm very terrified to see what these Seekers do, or the Slanesh ones.
The Keepers,
The Keepers, and then if the Lords of Change, like with their 3-ups, if they can do similar, they're going to be so much harder to remove.
Yeah, there's one of the things I wanted to try in this list was this concept of like MSU. Obviously, the plague drones are a bit expensive, and the 2 big guys. The concept being theoretically that if you just have Bellicor, all the big weapons are going into Bellicor. If you have 2, they have to start making decisions, which kind of happened here. The one misnomer is like you're only getting 1 CP reroll, and you probably want it to be on your most important guy so the opponent can bait it out. But I did consider Lord of Change, which I kind of poo-pooed a little bit earlier. But what I will say that's good about him is, again, 3-up save. And the Impossible Robe is now once per, I believe, turn, turn a say failed save into 0. So the one entropy that gets through just zeroes out.
Okay.
So he becomes very difficult to get through.
And then you get to save a reroll.
And you save a reroll.
Yep.
I'm surprised, though, I will say this, not to complain, but that there's no way to do a psychic action and still cast a spell. There's actually nothing in the book that lets you do that, which is very strange.
That is weird, yeah. I'm even surprised for the Zeech stuff that they usually have some stuff to do that.
Because ideally, I would have a Lord of Change and Warp Ritual with him every game. But giving up all those casts is a little dicey.
Especially they have such powerful spells.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm excited to try them.
Do you have, like, is the Flux casters? Because it really hurts that the horrors are not casters anymore. Those were fantastic for doing psychic actions.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
some of it.
Like the heralds or anything, are they cheap enough to take as just...
Well, that's why I had 2 of them in there, right?
Yeah.
I had the Demonette one, the Rapturous, Transmaster, Transdancer, and then the Fluxmaster on disc.
Both were incredible that even
great.
outside of doing the actions.
Yeah, I am excited. I love Nurgle. It's probably my favorite one to kind of play and paint, just like everything. But Spoilpox was very expensive. The Plague Drones are expensive, so I feel like I might lean away from that in my mixed Demons builds.
Yeah.
You know, because he's 100 points.
And that's the beauty of the book, is just like there's so much to do with mixed, and mono I think is incredibly strong.
Mono, you get the trees for sure.
God, the feculent Mallows are really good.
Yeah.
And those loci ability, that caught me completely off guard, where Bellicor was able just to drop them in within engagement range. Like, you can't prepare for that.
I didn't even maximize for it, right? I was clumsy
I think you're going to see some weird like things come back in the metas, like the infiltrators with their, what's it called? The Space Marine ones, just because demons are going to change the way we play the game.
Yeah.
That I don't know if they'll be the top winning all the events, but they will change.
Yeah, which is cool, and that's what you want to see. Yeah. Keep it interesting, you know? So, you know, you've been on the channel before. We always like to give an MVP. Do you have someone that outperformed, that really deserves the prize?
Yeah, Wild Toad.
Mr. Toad!
Mr. Toad, I think, was the best unit. He went 3 inches.
Yeah.
And then got burned to death.
Flamed.
No, so is it MVP of like the game or of my specific faction?
Your faction.
Of mine is, I have to say, I'm loving the Plague Marines.
Yeah.
They are just utility knife the army needs. That they hit like a truck. They accept buffs super well.
Yeah.
And they just have all the tools.
They hit so hard, and they're really tough to get into.
Yeah. It was very tough to figure out. So if it wasn't, you got to look at like the man or woman like behind the star, and really it was like the biologist Putrefier.
It's all the buffs, right?
Was like him just handing out to the buffs turned each one of my Plague Marines into an all-star killer unit.
Yeah.
Without him, like they are good, but like with him, he goes insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
What is your MVP, especially out of your new book?
Bellicor was great, but I don't know that I maximized what he could do. For me, probably the Flamers.
I'll tell you what I think won the game.
Yeah.
That was such a death blow,
Yeah.
which was like not exciting, but the Demonettes. That play you did where you blocked off my movement of my guys coming in, it stopped them, and they're slow enough that I had them,
We saw what happened when you had a whole turn of movement.
There's a whole turn of movement I was able to reach. If I was able to do that one turn earlier, I win the game. Because not only do I clear your back line, they're pushing into the center.
I think that's a great point.
And coming from behind. Without that, that was just masterful playing. And
thank you.
So like when you like look at a unit and its utility, it's like it's not how much damage it can do or if it'll survive. It's sacrificing units. It's like chess.
Yeah.
And that was such a killing stroke that I'm just like, that's 700 points that I am not going to do anything.
Right, yeah. So we played a 1,300 versus 2K, basically.
Yep.
Versus 1,900.
Yep. And if I would have kept them on the board, I think this would have been a completely different game.
Very interesting. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, you had a good play by putting them back there. It was just like this, it was so intimidating. I didn't feel like I could deal with it, so this was my only option.
Yeah, it was just not dealing with it.
To not deal with it and minimize that. And also only made possible by the new crazy deep strike rules, right?
That's insane to deep strike within 3 inches in your deployment zone. It stops very aggressive play from just happening.
Yeah. So I think that's well said. Well said.
Yeah.
Well, We have lots of questions, and if you guys have any more, let us know. We're here to talk about Chaos Demons, Death Guard, chocolate cake, you name it. We'll talk about it.
Now I want chocolate cake.
I know.
Why
You guys
would
want to get
say
chocolate
that?
cake?
Exactly.
We can find a late night chocolate place.
Don't tease a girl. Thank you, Yuli Sanders. Can you tell Adrian? I can. Thank you for the great games this weekend from the Fresno guys, Yuli and Jesse, and also 60 flayed ones next time.
Oh, man. So, as I mentioned, played in the Santa Clara GT this last weekend. This is from Ulyss, who I played, and I also played Jesse. I mean, he literally said this, but came down from Fresno, so decent drive here.
Yeah.
And they were awesome guys. I played both of them, back-to-back rounds. We had an absolute blast. Ulyss with his Necrons. I got wrecked, I'll be honest, but it was very fun. We had a really fun game. Learned a lot, I think both of us, honestly. Some really fun, wild moments. And then I played Jesse in the final round with his Imperial Knights. And it was so close. We were just like, he starts the game. You appreciate this.
Yeah, you told me about like this sounds like
Yeah.
a really good game.
It was so close. And his first move, he literally just yeets an armiger into my whole army.
Yep.
And I was like, he's like, I'm gonna slow you down.
You're
I was
lucky you
like,
didn't
I
get
don't know.
tabled.
I didn't kill it. I couldn't kill it. I had to spend a whole nother turn.
Dude, when you stack the buffs on the armigers, they get tough.
-1 damage is brutal for me. So it was a great game. It came down to literally killing an armiger in the last turn. So amazing guys. So much fun to play you guys and great to meet you. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Oh, Flayed Ones, ridiculous.
Super good. Reroll into wound with like 1,000 attacks.
And they're super tough. I put, my giant ultimate killy troop squad.
Yeah.
Killed 4 Flayed Ones.
That doesn't math out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's rough.
Worth it.
That was so
super good.
brutal.
And they probably came back too.
Yeah. I was like, huh. Well, I think I lose.
Yeah.
So great guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, thank you, Kevo Wobo. Hey guys, working on painting some sisters' tanks, my first vehicles. That's some nice vehicles. Yeah. Thanks for the great content. Go Demons. My friend has been complaining about their lack of codex all year, LOL, so shout out to him.
Shout out to Kevo's friend.
He's going to be very happy.
It is always hard to be one of the last codexes.
I'm
It's brutal.
feeling for the guard. Like we talk about it is that growing up and like playing in tournaments when we were first starting, there's always like those older gentlemen like guard players that were like a little bit like kind of lost, but like they had like this beautiful, immaculate, perfectly army.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of just gone because they don't have a codex to play, and it's just not very fun when you're just the last one. And then it's like you hear all these rumors about 10th edition. Like, are they just going to get it for like a month?
We need to rebuild our ecosystem. The guard players need to return.
That's when you know the planet's healing.
Yeah.
When strange old men callers come.
Exactly. And Chaos Demons have been.
Shout out to the push cart.
I don't know. I'm not gonna ask what that means. Wait, what'd you say?
Said shout out to the push cart. You know, they always have like the trolleys.
Gotcha. I thought you said push fart, and I was like, don't want to know.
Yeah.
The Chaos Demons, they've had moments where they've been powerful, even looking at Plague Marine spam with Thousand Sun allies, but in my personal opinion, not fun to play. I think this book is going to be most importantly fun to play, interesting, but also I think quite good. So
it's one of those ones that it's nice to look at a codex and like, everyone has like those units where it's like, why would you bring that? Like, why would you bring Hell Brutes or whatever to a match? I love the Hell Brutes. Well, no, I'm talking, Hell Blasters, yes. You'd be like, that's a dumb unit, I'm gonna like do this. I don't think there's any like unit in this demon book that I've seen where I'm like, that's a bad choice. I think they all have their place.
exactly.
And I think there's things you can do with like pretty much all of them. There's not one where I'm like, oh man, they missed their mark on this.
I 100% agree. And Sisters, first tank. That's going in the deep end.
I mean,
That's
do it
so
classy
much.
the first time.
That's true, actually.
Just do it perfect.
Yeah. Set the bar.
Yeah.
And then
Thanks,
don't
Keva.
let your wife put all the decals on it because that's what you did.
Yeah. There's such a thing in life as restraint.
Okay. See, the thing is, I had just learned how to do decals, though.
Okay, yeah.
And so it was like the first time Melanie ever got to do decals, and Adrian's like, put some on my tank. And I was like,
Just, like,
put all
covered
of them
them.
on the tank.
Like, oh,
Is that a Hello Kitty sticker?
it's like a NASCAR.
Yeah.
tank at that point.
Pretty much.
I like that.
Thank you, Daemons. TTTTW :W3 8-player campaign stream when?
Whoa.
And if y'all were to play a campaign together, what faction/lord would each of you pick and why?
That's awesome. there will be a TTTTTTTT this year.
TTT.
And
Oh, I was talking about Total War.
Total. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
it will be that.
No,
too.
I
Oh,
thought
okay.
it was Total
Yeah.
TTTTTTT.
Ooh.
Is this Total War? Or is
Yeah.
This
No, it is. It
TTTTT?
is. I'm being quiet because I'm thinking. I don't know. What would you guys do? So it's old. It's old. You know, it's old world.
Old
so,
fantasy. Yep.
I mean, elves
number
with
3.
Alariel.
Alariel's. Is she alive?
Yeah,
She is.
she's alive.
But
Yeah.
but here's the thing, Mel. She's a high elf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
play
I'm playing
high
high elves.
Yep.
I hate high elves.
Excuse you.
That's a little strong.
You played demonic ratmen.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That's understandable.
You should play
Absolutely
wood
not.
elves.
I like
But
the bear guys.
Alariel.
Yeah. All right, you can have Alariel. You just don't get Draika.
Yep.
Which guys?
The bear guys.
The Kislev?
Yeah, I just want like a whole just bear cavalry.
So much fun. Oh my god, they're so... I'm not great at the game, but I feel like they're so strong. Every time I play Brendan, my brother, he's like, I just like the bear cavalry, but like also the Ice Queen has like a crazy like targeted mortal wound spell.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's definitely the bear cavalry, which are also amazing.
Yeah.
Adrian would be like, I lost. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I've been playing for 600 rounds or
Yeah.
something. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's like, and he's like,
Like-
yeah, I guess I start over. What?
It's fun. It's great.
It's like a
Does
sim
not sound
game.
fun.
It is.
Yeah.
I
That's not
understand.
fun.
So you would do high elves with Alariel?
No, I'd do wood elves. You know I
Yeah.
would.
Thought so. I thought so. And you would do
I'd probably do dwarves or the Keslev.
dwarves or Keslev? Yeah. I would do.
What do you mean you would do?
What?
You do.
Yeah, but I've done a bunch of games at this point.
Yeah.
Right now I'm playing Slaanesh. It's a ton of fun. So right now I'm thinking that, but I've also enjoyed Skaven in number 2
Yeah.
a lot. So
I need to actually play it. That's like the one I haven't.
you like haven't played, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, well, I bought it a long time ago when this is like very exciting for some people, was that it was optimized for AMD cards, not for NVIDIA.
Right.
And so like when I got it, it just played like a toaster and I'm like, when
not
they finally patch it, I'll play it. And then I never got back to it.
Yeah. That's
And it's lost.
you some kind of nerd.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Three Amigos Studios. Howdy, Titans. Look for the Beast Nagas is back with the Big Daddies.
Looks like Beast.
Looks like, I was
Yeah.
like, that did not make a sentence. Looks like the Beast Nagas is back with the Big Daddies. Can you review Warpstorm Table? What demon's defense to mortals get mentally yoked?
Get mentally yoked, son. It's a little Thousand Suns humor there.
Yeah. Do you have defense to mortals?
Dude,
I think
I
that was
know.
something that's weirdly absent in the book.
It was. I was
Which
terrifying.
is
today.
kind of fluffy, is that the idea that like psychic powers kind of undo demons
right.
ends, which I'm gonna say that GW thought about that.
Well, yeah, they definitely did.
I really do like the fluffiness of that, like that all the demons' saves get worse in close combat.
Yeah, because you have to banish
Ban
them.
Yeah, it's like your anger and feelings in close combat
Exactly.
are more than like you can be thoughtless and emotionless when you shoot somebody.
Right.
Speaking from experience.
Is there any mortal wounds resistance in this book?
I'm trying to think, does anything even have a feel no pain?
I can't think of anything. Anyone in chat? No.
Yeah, I think they're moving away from
with the book that they don't have yet?
Well,
But
there's
they've seen
a lot of
things,
stuff's been
people are
online.
Playing games.
I was like,
we this book was on pre-order Saturday, so
Okay.
we're actually behind.
Yep.
So I don't know if you guys have seen any games or anything.
But off the top of my head, I don't even think there's warlord traits that give you feel no pain.
Oh wait, something rings a bell.
The Khorne have the stratagem to shut down spells.
Yeah, Khorne have some. So the armor Scorn, classic. Now what it does, it gives you +1 armor against damage 1, but then it also gives you.
That used to be a 2-up, right?
It was a 4+ invuln at one point. It's
Okay.
been a few things.
Been around for a while.
4 feeling pain against mortals from psychic.
Okay. Yeah,
So there's that.
it's mortal wound armies are going to hurt this army a lot,
Very scary. Which
especially a lot of one wound models.
yes, but that's also another reason to lean into those 1 wound models because
Yep.
they're good screens for
And they're also there's a lot of ways to get them back too. So it's like, yep,
that returning the D3. The fact that it's at the end of the morale phase, very interesting.
yep. You can change people's lives.
And we learned that during game.
Yeah.
learn on the job.
Right? Don't believe so. They have super invuln save. So you
Yeah.
know what? That's fair, Elijah. Looks like Beastang is back.
Yeah, besides the back.
Oh, can you review Warpstorm table? So, what do you guys think? What you saw?
The
What do you think, Mel?
It's just like one of those extra. It's one of those things I feel like they add to the game, and you don't end up using a lot of, and it's like miracle dice. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is one of the more.
Eh.
It's a very good ability to have, but it's also the most lackluster, I think, of the army-wide rules. Like you can't build or like get excited to design around it. And also, it's kind of just stratagems, but like wearing a different coat.
Stratagems with more steps.
Yeah.
I'm torn about it. I like it, but I gotta suss out like how.
I don't like
the
it
role.
instead of army-wide rules for each faction.
Instead of army-wide, right? Because I
Yeah.
guess that's kind of what it is, isn't it?
Yes, it's the replacement, and like there were some nasty ones. That the big army-wide ones that hit, which most of them I think are army-wide.
A lot of the big ones.
A lot of the big ones. So like the -1 to hit on his whole entire army
That
for
one is
turn
easy.
one. It's like old knight fighting. It brings just choosing what to hit just so much harder when he has things that are incredibly resilient and a lot of healing. So it's like you need to finish stuff off. If you just leave it with just a few wounds left,
Exactly.
you're not gonna like. You're just losing points at that point when you're just looking at efficiency in your trading.
I think. Oh, yeah, that's the one I was looking for. 3 Warpstorm points, extra -1 leadership at the start of the turn. So you can't wait and be like, oh, I need one more.
Yeah.
Buff. I like it. I
But
think.
started to turn, that could be, you could line some stuff in to get some really
Yeah.
nasty charges off, because that can reduce most armies down to a 6-inch charge.
100%. So I think you're looking things you'll use the most often are the cheapest ones, obviously. That one's nice, but -1 to hit beyond 12 is 3. That's good. Ignore negative modifiers to move, advance, and charge. That's only 2. That's great.
Yep.
The healing one is good, but it needs 5. So you need to roll above average, or you need to be able to retain
Yep.
2 from a previous turn and then roll
Yeah.
average,
But
which could still
it's
spike.
every unit in your army.
It's amazing. That's why it's 5. And I
Yep.
think that's appropriate. The God ones, I'm not crazy about Nurgle. It's +1 to hit in melee. It's +1 AP against vehicles, and then it's a stupid mortal wounds thing that doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Slanesh, fight first is amazing. The bonus to charge is amazing. Zinch, +1 to hit in BS. It's okay, but you really have to lean into shooting. I don't think you're really doing
The
that.
shooting's not that crazy, or you're auto hitting.
Exactly. +1 to cast for all your guys. If you're running an all Zinch army, that's good because that's 3 warp points.
Yep.
The Corn, I think, some of the best ones, honestly. This is expensive. It's 4 points, but it's +1 attack for all your Corn
And you'll pretty
units.
much do that every time if you have the points. The other ones are situational.
Yeah, the fallback on a 4+
Yeah.
I like. So those are the things that are like, those are the
Yeah.
highlights. But as you can see, a lot of those God ones, quite expensive.
Yep.
So I think you're going to be using these other ones a lot of the time, which is how it should be, right?
Yep.
They're not crazy big, but
Yeah.
they're reliable. Can you roll at least 2 4-ups on 8 dice?
I
you.
can't. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, Warpstorm table.
Cheers.
Some thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Larry Hunkin. Just wanted to let you guys know your show is the best.
Oh,
I love the video quality. Your 4K videos look amazing. Your camera work is so good. Keep up the good work.
It's all
Thank you so much,
Melanie.
Larry.
Well, thanks.
You make some good
Yeah.
cuts.
Yeah.
Tell the story.
Thanks. Thanks.
We
We
really
try
appreciate it.
hard. We are very lucky to be able to have as many people involved in that allow for us to have this type of quality.
Yeah.
So really, it's all of you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, it really,
Yep.
really is.
Well, thank you again, Yuli Sanders. Thoughts on Gnarlmaw with Soul Grinders and a Monster Mash kind of list? P.S. Thanks to Adrian for some great games this weekend from myself and Jesse. Wait,
It's
Wait,
the guy.
wait.
Did
Same.
you just like miss the beginning of this last time? Thanks to, or maybe he just.
No, I think he's just commenting again.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
what happened? Well, P.S. Thanks to Adrian for some great games this weekend from myself and Jesse. 60 flayed ones.
Yeah.
Next time.
Okay.
Woo!
The Gnarl. Well,
We were talking about it is that, first of all, the biggest thing about the Gnarlmaw is it's one of those combo pieces of it's a loci. That means that you can deep strike within 6 inches of it, and you set it up in the terrain phase. It's 75 points, so it's incredibly cheap. It's -1 to hit for everything within 6 inches that's Nurgle. It might be just Plague Bearers.
So it's not. It's not a terrain piece. Oh no, it is a terrain piece.
It is a terrain piece,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
and it gets set up during deployment.
Yeah.
For ITC, they do their, what's it called? During the
Yeah. It's one of your building drops, basically.
one of your building drops.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So you can have it in the mid board, deep strike within 6 inches of it, so you're pretty much going to. Only thing is it can be killed, which is its major problem. But if they're shooting at that, it's not that many points to hurt you. They finally designed buildings like in a good space where it's like, doesn't feel like you're investing so much for something that's gonna not change. And the biggest thing, it brings back plague bearers. So if you're running a lot of plague bearers, which are like tough to remove, I think that's good for like missions where you're holding an objective in the center or off to the side where you're just like, I'm gonna throw this down to make it a pain for you to take this from me.
Yeah, it's good for that because then it also gives -1 to hit,
Yeah.
which obviously doesn't work on the Soul Grinders because it doesn't work on vehicles and monsters. So it's great for the Soul Grinder Alpha Strike where you do this because you can set it up 9 inches away from your opponent's deployment. It's actually a beta strike. You can't do turn 1 because they're in deep strike, but you can bring them down. As far as your opponent killing it, it's a T7, 9 wound, 4 up, 3 up. So you do have to kind of defend it a bit.
It's a 3-up Demon Seed? Wow.
And 4 up in melee. So it's not easy to kill.
Yeah.
I think it's super cool and it's cheap.
Yeah, I think it's totally worth taking.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to look in Soul Grinder. So I have no Soul Grinder models.
Nobody does. They've been extinct since like the 80s.
I'm gonna have to find some, apparently, because you mark them, huh? And then they modify.
You mark them and they change it. In Nurgle, they go up to T9, which
T9. What a meme! I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, when I played against him, blew my mind with the new Land Raiders that are T9 and you can't reroll the wound against them.
It's a big deal.
You're like, this is really hard to chew through.
It's real tough. Yeah. Well, thanks again, you. Let's really appreciate it.
Thank you. Damn it. New from TTT. Essence of Bridger. Oh, no.
No.
Feel the warmth of the model sand between your toes as notes of intense sadness envelop you, and let your worries consume you in the cool night air as earthy notes of Taco Bell hot sauce and plastic glue surround you.
See, the problem with this is like, Bridger's not sad. I wish he would feel.
The problem was that I had to read that out loud.
Oh, that's fair.
I would buy this perfume. This is amazing. I wouldn't wear it, but I'd buy it.
Adrian, we have no room, so you can't move in. If you get kicked out.
What would the picture be? It'd be like just Bridger, like black and white.
I would like imagine him like kind of like dressed as a mermaid.
Yep, definitely a black and white photo too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Is this what you're going to get as your next pinup tattoo?
I already have a Bridger tattoo.
Your next one.
Yeah.
First one's of his dog, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Also as a mermaid.
As a mermaid. Yeah, this is a weird.
It weirdly fits in that group though with Ozzy and Bridger.
Oh no.
Okay.
Brutal.
Thank
Well,
you.
hold on.
Yeah.
Big thanks to Damn It. Like I mean, that's a lot of characters, and that was a large donation to make those characters. So big appreciation.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're uncomfortable, but I want to make sure.
I'm like, I feel like it was, you know,
You're like, nope.
compensation for having to read that out
Having
loud.
to read it. We've been duly paid.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? I'll read it to Bridger next time I see him.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to pass it on.
You're doing a rap though.
in a rap.
Yeah.
Oh, I already did so many voices today. Thank you, Base Dorothy. What I could add to T-Suns that isn't something they already do.
Right.
Flamers, Screamers. What is the Tzeentch Soul Grinder buff, and what does Changeling do?
Great questions, Dorothy.
These are all good ones.
So
Ooh, Thousand Suns.
the Soul Grinder buff, I was just looking at it. It takes your demon save to a 4-up, 4-up.
Yeah.
Which means it'll be a 4-up in melee as well as shooting, which
Makes them pretty durable.
is actually really nice.
So yeah, Soul Grinders are nice because it just adds like Tzeentch has a problem with throwing range damage down range or like shooting.
At longer than 24.
24.
Which this does have.
Which they does need, and they need like a heavy duty counter punch unit.
Yeah, it's got.
They do that. I also absolutely loved the flamer units. I think taking a trio of those, which is not very expensive, and then just using those to deep strike around. Like you have flamers in a Thousand Suns army, but these are just so much more efficient.
These kind of just seem better.
Better, yeah.
To be honest, like the other ones, they're tougher in melee, obviously.
But it's like rubrics. Yeah, like you're spending a lot on them versus these units. And they are tough to take down.
And they fly. They move 12 inches after they land.
They move 12 in. Yeah.
They're just like jumping around.
I think you could take a detachment of just Flux Masters and 3 units of them, and that is a nice little thing to add into your list.
That's interesting. I wonder how cheap.
Because it helps you clear screens so your Terminators can get to where they really want to be.
The crazy thing about them is it helps clear anything.
Yeah.
We're killing Plague Marines. Like, that's crazy. Flamers?
Yeah.
I would have never thought that.
I do like the Exalted ones too because their character blocks, and they also add long-range, heavy-duty shooting.
Yeah, you still have to convince me on that one. Let's take a look. Because it's
like D3 shots.
Yeah, see? that's one of... no, it's 3 shots. It's 3 shots.
Oh, 3 shots.
Okay, so I'm more on board. It's 3 shots, strength 9, AP 4 for 3 damage. Or 2d6 shots, strength user, so strength 6, AP 2 for 1. That just sounds like... The second profile I don't love. Because you might as well just have a regular flamer.
Yep.
The first one, I'm not crazy about it. But I will say
You're packing a cannon. Yeah.
He gives flamers within 6 plus 1 strength.
That's
So it goes strength 6.
strength 6. Now you're killing everything on 3s.
Now I'm more interested.
And then with +1 to wound.
Oh.
So it's a character or is it an elite? Oh, it's an elite choice.
It's an elite, it's a character. Which
Yep.
is the other big negative for
So-
assassination. You can never have a warlord trait or a relic. Interesting.
Yeah, they don't want you to buff him up or something.
Yeah.
I would take one of those though, and if you're running the Flamers of Zeech, it's worth running or taking one of them. I think.
I think that's worth considering, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Soul Grinder, how many points are these
190. So they're they're expensive.
They are, but oh my god, they do so much.
Yep. It's good in melee and good at shooting.
Right? Iron Claw and the Warp Sword. And you get the Warp Claw? No.
No, I think you have to choose between them.
The Warp Sword can just get swapped out for the Warp Claw, which is malefic, so it's extra attacks, which means you stick with the Iron Claw, ×2, -3 for D6, as opposed to D3 plus 3.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's malefic. What the heck? No, so you keep the Warp Sword for sure.
Yeah, the sword's good, and
That's way
if it's malefic, you get the extra attacks, but also it's not none of the damage is reduced.
And Armor Contempt.
Yep.
Ah.
Soul Grinders are. Yeah, I'm gonna hunt around my local stores.
Asking for a friend.
Yep.
Cool. Well, there you go, Base Dorothy. Hopefully that's helpful.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Digital Designer.
Yo.
Evening, Titans. Can't wait to see y'all at Nova. Q on the new codex. Are there any anti-GK strats, relics, warlord traits I need to be worried about?
So you
Don't
need.
want to get gotcha'd by 2CP revive a unit strat again.
Yeah, that strat is thankfully gone.
Yep. You get to also laugh at them when they take Drago, because Drago's special rule is that it ignores Demon's invuln saves.
No.
Oh, so it currently does nothing. Yeah,
That's
it's ignores invulns on Demons, and they don't have that anymore. So
my God.
they don't have any gotchas, and you get to just make fun of GK players.
There's nothing.
Thank God, because
Yeah, so you're good actually, honestly.
I'm not a big fan of those army specific. I get it in the lore, but it's just it's bad for game balance.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
They should get rid of them, and even the CSM codex having them, it's one out. You get 6 strats for a legion, and one of those 6 strats is only good against one opponent. And if it is, it just makes them feel really bad. It's
bad. I like when they add as a caveat, it's reroll all hit or ones to hit.
Yeah.
With the unit, but if you're against Space Wolves, it goes to full.
That's better.
That's better because
it's something
you're
else
right
the rest of the time.
Yeah.
I agree.
But it is a waste of ink when you're oh, I really hope I fight Iron Warriors.
Right. And you get full rerolls against Iron Warriors to hit and wound, but guess what? Now they turn off all your rerolls to wound, so the strat actually does almost nothing now.
It's fantastic.
Anyways, yeah. So you should be good, Digital Designer. Can't wait to see you very soon. Actually.
Oh, we met him. He's a nice boy.
Yeah. You'll meet him again.
Yeah.
In a few days.
I won't.
No. All right.
Keep my eyes closed the whole time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mackenzie Frame. Hey Titans, finishing up my Black Legion list and was wondering what your opinions are on Raptors versus Warp Talons.
Good question.
Oof.
So
I want to love Warp Talons, but
I was hyped for them, and then I was off, and now I'm back on.
oh,
They have their role.
yep.
They can be more independent than Raptors, who generally want some of these buffs.
But that's the reverse. Is in a Black Legion list, Raptors do get a lot of love.
They get a lot of
Where Harkin makes them pretty scary, and I believe they're cheaper.
They are cheaper. That's a great point. That is a great point, actually. So it kind of depends what their role is, right? Are you going to be throwing them away? Are you just tossing them to do damage? The Warp Talons, tougher, can prevent fallback, so they can be a real pain for vehicles. I remember playing into your Death Guard with them, and they just hold up like
holding
Plague Rush
out,
Crawler,
yeah.
and the Plague Rush Crawler says, "Here's my entropy cannons," but they have invuln saves. So
Yep.
they're good for that kind of thing. But Raptors are good for getting all the buffs. They can be marked, which is big, so you can advance and charge if you're Slaanesh or whatever.
Yeah. I would honestly take both. I think one unit of Warp Talons flanked by 2 units of Raptors
I think
is
you're
like, that is a cute unit.
Yeah, I think
You're going to hit someone hard and fast and have the utility that goes along with it.
Yeah.
I don't think you get anything more for running a lot of Warp Talons.
agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Quickly jumping back up to base Dorothy's question, we did not answer what does does Changeling do?
Oh, Changeling. You know what? I remember being disappointed. And he's another unit that has been able to do crazy things throughout time.
Yep.
So he is a lieutenant, just like all the heralds. So rerolling 1s to wound for each core units within 6. And that's the only like extra weird thing beyond he can turn into something, right? So he has the Trickster Staff still. Well, let's start with this. Formless Horror. When you fight, you can select one infantry, so no Gilliman, model within engagement range of this model, until the fight is resolved. So they use that model's weapon skill, strength, and attacks. So the idea is he becomes this person, like a copy of it. And then the Trickster Staff is a weapon that does the same thing, but you copy their weapon instead. So super cool.
Can you...
Flavorful.
So, infantry?
Yes.
Can you do like something like Abaddon?
Yeah, 100%.
That can make some weird stuff.
Abaddon, there's specific use cases where he's amazing.
It's how if your opponent brings like a real beat stick character, which you don't really see as often because of they've nerfed to warlord traits and
right. Yeah, Abaddon.
relics.
You're not going to get the drop on Harlequins and Eldar. See, that's
yeah.
there's
I'm
not
like
a
trying to
ton
think.
right
It's like
now. How many points? Excuse me. 100 points. Yeah.
over a herald is how many?
What's the herald?
And can
on
he
foot
cast
called?
spells?
He's still a caster, so cast 1. And then what's the herald on foot called? Change caster,
Yep.
which is 80.
Okay.
For 5 more points, you give the shooting profile, which my guy had today. So you're paying, 15, 20 points for...
This really weird, but could be game changing.
Yeah. I wish he was faster. He only moves 6.
The
wish
other
it was
thing that only matters, when does the ability go off and what is the range on it?
So it's engagement range when they're selected to fight.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
So that's like if you wanted Abaddon, you got to charge Abaddon.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
No, it can't be like nearby.
I thought it was like, if it was like someone within 6 inches or something,
Yeah.
like.
It's usually like when you're fighting the person.
Yeah.
So I played the Changeling a long time ago, and I fought Gilliman, and it turned into Gilliman. I had Gilliman's sword, and I just beat Gilliman to death with his own sword. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, there's nowhere you want to throw your guy into close combat, and he only has a 6-up save against it.
5-up.
5-up, still.
Huh? No, yeah, I agree. Unfortunately,
I'm like, that could have been a really cool rule, but having to actually be an engagement with the model, nah.
You need something else.
Yeah.
So
And you can never count on it, yeah.
that's true. So, there we go.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Siege Roots.
Hey.
Successor.
Successor. Whirlwind of Rage.
Warded, which is the 5-up feeling pain against mortal wounds.
Okay.
Between the three of us, we get
I think it's Shane's turn to read a super chat.
I can't read.
I think this
Really
is-
good. All right, I got this one.
I believe in you.
Because I speak the language of the gods.
I believe in you.
All right, so then I got a Gravis Captain Master, or Chapter Master with Rights of War, so he's do that in Paragon of War.
Nice.
Or, okay, so you got, it's like a thicky boy captain that gives you OBSEC. I like it.
It's your fatal mistake, man. I'm going to get the
Yeah.
commentary on every line.
We got a Libby. We don't got a slap chap, but that's a problem.
No, there's a chap right there.
He's a chaplain, but he's not a slap chap.
Oh, I couldn't
He's just a chaplain. I would like to know what they're taking to know if they're worth it. Like, we all know the librarians take a 5-up invuln, which is not that good anymore.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even take the librarian. I don't think they're worth it. All right. Is that a 1 binder?
1 by 8 intercessors.
1/8 intercessors. Weird number. I don't really like going over 8 or 5 because your transhuman gets more expensive. And 2 5-man infiltrator units. It's a Blade Guard Ancient with the +1 attack banner, which not a big fan of the +1 attack banner. Well, no, that's the Ultramarines have a specifically +1.
This
the
one
other
stacks.
banner doesn't stack, which is like the weirdest thing for shock
This one
attack.
does that, which is cool.
5 Blade Guard veterans, Apothecary, Selfless Healer. Of course, you got to take that at 5.
Lightning Claw Termi.
Lightning Claw Terminators, 5 Vanguard vets, but not what the Vanguard vets have, and 1 Dread with twin las cannons. This is like all over the place. I almost going to get up and start swinging. I thought that said Hammerfall Bunker.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, 5 times assault squad, or 5 man. Is that a 5-man assault squad? Did they get free upgrades? I believe they did.
That like rings something in the back of my head.
I think they were one of the units, a Hammer Strike and 3 Eradicators.
Thank you.
All right, and so just thoughts on this?
I've already forgotten the beginning of the list.
Okay, the 8-man Intercessor is weird. Drop it down to 5. You want that transhuman when you really need that. Blade Guard Ancient with the banner, 5 Blade Guards, pretty good. Assault Terminators, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
The Vanguard vets, I'm guessing they have jetpacks and claws as well.
Yeah.
You don't need that Vendread with the twin las. I would go for a Redemptor Dreadnought. The old school las cannons for the Marines are still D6 damage.
Yeah.
They're just not reliable. Also, you're not really going to take anything down.
Sudrid says, yeah, free jump packs and weapons. Jeez.
Yeah. Which,
That's crazy.
pretty good. Like, you can get double Melta, and the captain can have Power Fist.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're crazy expensive. I think
no.
we'll actually start seeing use on them. I think I like them with the 2 free Melta guns, because you can just fly up and that's a vehicle for
fan.
you.
That's like almost a Harlequin unit, you know?
Okay.
And then can you scroll down a bit more, Mel? Radicators are great. The 5 Assault Squad. The Hammer Strike.
Not a big fan. I think Hammer Strike and Vendread. I think you want to go for more infantry, because
Yeah.
more intercessors or redemptors. I'm a big fan of the Redemptor Ball.
Yeah. I think he wants anti-tank
Yep, which the Redemptor will give him. It's 3 damage, and
with the plasma.
the thing is, the game, you don't really need as much anti-tank.
You don't need as much, but
Because you
need
want to
some.
get into close combat. Most armies that you need anti-tank have defenses for at range. I've been just falling out of love with my Plague Burst Crawlers, and I've been just finding I'd rather have just more infantry.
What about taking out the Dread and the Hammer Strike for infantry tank killing, like Eradicators?
Eradicator, well, they do have Eradicators.
Well, more. Let that spread.
What about Interceptors?
Inceptors? With
Inceptors,
plasma?
but plasma Inceptors are always good. That gives you
Yeah.
high damage killing. That they can be a good suicide unit. Or if you can get the rerolls on them,
Yeah.
then you are
Because he has Chapter Master.
Chapter Master.
Yeah, I think that could be
That's a
interesting.
good, and
Yeah.
fall back and shoot with them is fantastic.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
They get that? Yeah, because that's their...
Yep.
No, they don't get that. It's the successor.
Successor.
But...
I think they have a strategy where they can fall back without penalty.
that
in the
rings a
Ultra-
bell, maybe.
In the Ultramarines.
Eradicators have Heavy Melta. Yeah. 90 points for the Heavy Assault. That's amazing.
90 points for that?
That's so good.
Double Meltas, and like they're,
I can see why people run them now. We've been seeing this around.
yeah.
Yeah.
I already converted up Veteran Vanguard that are now out of style.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think those are probably changes we'd recommend. Fallback, shoot, and charge. Oh, right. It's one strat.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So,
Ooh,
which is great.
my advice, skip the Warded Against Mortal Wounds.
Yeah.
And take the Emperor Spears
Yeah, I'm a
successor. That gives you some +1 to wound, so your melee units actually are going to hit a lot harder. That is my biggest. I get this fear of the mortal wounds,
Yeah.
but the main thing is if you can kill them faster than they're killing you, then you don't really need to be warded against them.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide. It's tough because, like, there's Tyranids chucking out mortals. Even the bombs. Everyone seems to have bombers nowadays. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's tough. It's just
Maybe. I'm not sure.
You just get a lot of utility from the Emperor's Spears.
I'm a huge fan
Fan
of
of it,
Spears.
yep.
Yeah. it's a meta question, I think. If you think you're going to be running into, Thousand Suns, Nids,
Yeah.
those are the main ones probably. Then you could stick with Warded maybe, but Emperor Spear is going to give you additional tools.
God, I'm really liking. Get rid of that hammer strike. Turn them more to assault squads.
Right?
Yeah. With Meltas, they'll deliver and they'll also chop up anything they run into.
That's not a bad point.
And they can drop in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully that's helpful. Siege Roots, as always, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael Cody. I'm weird. Don't talk to me. Shane, writing my Tinder profile.
It works.
You were so fast with that lizard comment. Thank you, Sinlord. TTT on my birthday. Happy birthday, Sinlord. What a nice gift. How is Zinch doing in the new book? Can't wait to soup T-Sons with demons.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Sinlord. What's up?
Yeah. What we've talked about is Zeech Flamers are just...
These Flamers are awesome.
What we love. They haven't seen it. Lord of Changes are going to be something people will have to learn how to deal with.
Yeah. So I was talking to Artem, who got second place.
I met Artem. He's a very good Thousand Suns player.
He's great. So he was not defeated.
Yep.
He tied one.
He tied, yeah.
And he was super excited about adding Lord of Change to his Thousand Suns army. Tough to kill, more mortal wounds. You can double up on some of these bombs.
They just have some weird stuff that's good.
Yes.
It's like hard to quantify.
Yeah.
And the fact that they move so fast, they get to choose, they only have, a 5-up in close combat?
The Lords of Change, yeah.
Yep. So 5-up in close combat is fantastic, but that 3-up always against shooting, you get to choose if they get to be in close combat or not. And they have so many tools to get around the board.
Well, especially if you're playing Thousand Suns, right? So you have your Terminator bricks, you're moving around.
Yeah.
Just a brief aside. The unnamed one is probably the way to go, but Kairos, his two heads do?
Yeah, one looks to the future, one looks to the past.
Exactly. So the one that looks back is Vect every game. And then the one that looks
forward. It is
forward,
a free Vect, you don't pay anything for it.
It's a free Vect. And then the one that looks forward, you get a bonus to your casting equal to the current battle round. So by last turn, you get a +5 to cast.
And so he's super smiting, he's just destroying.
It's awesome.
That Vect, actually, he might be worth it, just the Vect
is
super devastating in today's world where you don't have that much CP lying around.
Yeah.
If you turn a 2 CP stratagem, like +1 to wound, into a 3 shoot, you'll never have to worry about it again.
Yeah. No, 100%. So I'm excited to try them out.
Yeah. And
I didn't do it today, but
the
another day.
only problem is I think Siege has some really good relics and warlord trait combinations that I think make the unnamed guy will just turn him to a monster.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Although with Thousand Suns, you're probably not making him your warlord.
Yep.
And he'll have to be your warlord to get stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Thousand Suns the Zeech is the one I don't know the least about right now.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Blackbird374. It was great seeing everyone this weekend.
Yeah.
Thanks for the good times. Seeing Adrian's dice rolls in real life was crazy. My Rhino was a hero. Good luck to all at Nova.
Oh my god. Yeah, he got to see it firsthand. It was just like double ones, no luck dice. I had a Rhino on 1 wound. 3 jet bikes in combat. I had to do 1 wound to it to pile in, get behind enemy lines, get deadly performance. Nothing. No, I was just like, that's just the way it goes. You know what they say, better lucky than good. Right now, I'm neither.
Yep.
Pleasure hanging out with you, Blackbird.
Thank you, Gasanova45. Great game as always. Excited to play against demons now. I don't know what that says for demons, but collecting 1,000 of Tau for a fun side army to come across some willing to 3D print a Taunar. Should I go for it?
I think yes.
Yep.
It sounds like it's a passion project. That's how I started my Tau. I was like, I'm just gonna do a little thing, a little 3D print.
Traitor against the family
I know.
name.
Yeah.
Look, if you forget the social stigma, which we should all get past.
Pirates are cool.
They're pretty cool. Yeah, like, who doesn't like anime mechs? Like, come on.
There are some crazy Tau 3D sculpts out there.
Yeah. All the Piper stuff's amazing.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to have storm surges with the stupid open top.
Oh, there's like closed ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
There's
that.
like full-on robot ones.
So like the arms, yeah. Super cool.
Izzy just painted one up that's like a riptide with like holding the gun like a chain gun. And
Oh, I know.
looks incredible.
Show
All
me this
3D
thing.
painted.
So cool.
Oh, he probably was like, here, look at it. looking at looking deep in my eyes.
I was like, can't you see? And he's like, no, I can't use the gun for line of sight. I was like, yeah, that's fair.
That's nice of him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Izzy.
Shout out to Izzy. And hey, definitely go for it.
Thank you, Fate's Daydreamer. Hey, TTT. Great game. What do you think of the ability to do Monster Mass with this army still?
Monster Mash, yeah.
I'm very excited.
No, Monster Mass. It's Halloween, guys.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's in Michael's, especially. What do you think?
I'm very curious. I don't think it will work because they don't have the secondary support like Knights, but I think a very Knight-style list of running like every greater demon you can. It sucks that you can't stack Warlord traits anymore like that to really buff them up and get them there. But I think that is a list people are going to do. I think we're going to see special. They're relatively cheap for how good they are. They're like as strong as a Knight.
Yeah.
In some instance better.
Yeah.
Like compare it to like a Knight Rampager, right?
Yeah. No. 100%.
Which is 400 and something points.
Yeah.
And a Greater Unclean one's more durable. Well, hits somewhat as hard, provides more utility, and it's just tougher to kill for only 300 points.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. I think the no extra warlord trait feels very calculated to prevent going overboard with it.
Yeah, but you can exalt. They're all worth points. You can exalt every one of them and pick up. Yeah.
You can. I think. I don't know if you need a full detachment. Yeah, no, you just need a full Demons detachment to do the exalted. So yeah, you can exalt all of them. Yeah. I think it's playable. I don't think it's amazing. A few big monsters with a bunch of small Griblies could be good.
Yeah. Like this.
Yeah.
What's the cheapest troop? Is it Daemonettes or is it?
No, it's blue horrors.
But blue horrors are nerfed in the sense they can't do actions.
And they're not OBSEC.
They're not OBSEC. So I would take Bloodletters or like Daemonettes.
Yeah, Daemonettes at like 12, 13 points a model.
Yeah, Bloodletters are 13 points a model.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. I'd probably do like as many, like Daemonettes, like maybe 4 squads, and then just as many big monsters with Bellicor.
Yeah.
And it'd be tough. You can easily get 5 of those.
Supreme Command, Bellicor, 2 patrols with 2 greater demons and 4 demonettes.
Yep.
It's probably more than 2K, but
It's Supreme Command. I think it has HQ slots in it.
No, not anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just belly. Good old belly.
Okay. God, I remember that nasty, the Supreme Command where it's just like that.
That was one of the first things to go in the new edition.
Yeah.
Just like, nope.
Because they hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope they make an Army of Renown where you have to run all 5 of them.
Yeah.
With a lot of buffs. There was a old formation called the Tetrad.
Yeah.
Which was, you had to take 4 Demon Princes, 1 of each god, and they got buffs based on how many you had.
So fun to play.
And yeah, it was one of Adrian's favorite armies.
That was awesome.
Thank you, Hamsterdam. Hey, Titans. Just bought my tickets to SoCal and LVO.
Yes.
Hoping the Space Dwarves are out in time to bring. Hopefully I will see you guys there. Congrats, Dr. Mel. Don't think I've chatted since your PhD.
Oh, wow.
Congrats.
That was a long time ago.
Been a while.
It's been a while.
Congrats.
I'm still recovering from the trauma. It's fine, but thank you. We need to get our SoCal tickets.
When
we
is
have our
SoCal?
LVO
We really
tickets
do.
in October.
I know.
And Katie wants to go to the...
Yeah, it's a week before Halloween, so we got to do that and book Airbnb and everything.
Yep.
But we're planning on going, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, LVO.
People better not get married on it. I missed the last 3 because there's always a wedding on SoCal.
Nobody get married.
We got married on a BAO.
I know.
Yeah.
He was there.
I was there.
Jeff was not.
Jeff was not.
He did the
I
bachelor
respected
party.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Nick was the ultimate player. He came to our wedding and then flew out afterwards to go and cover
Yeah.
Madness.
Crazy.
Yeah, we'll definitely see you there.
Yeah. Awesome.
And Space Dwarfs, that'd be awesome if they're out.
Yep. Supposedly it's soon that they're going to play a game on Warhammer Plus with them.
Really?
Yeah, it's like this week.
Oh, but they're going to play the game. That doesn't mean that the release is soon.
Well, it'd be weird to be like, hey, check this out, see you next year.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd
be curious.
No one quote me. I feel like they're going to release before the
The guard?
The guard book.
No.
Yeah, I think
Oh
so.
my
There's just
God.
been so much more about them.
Yeah, there's actually been almost nothing about the guard.
Yeah.
Um,
And the stuff that was found out was not because they wanted to leak it.
yeah, I was gonna say I think some of it actually leaked and they were.
It
forced to
leaked and they
show
got
it.
mad. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that kind of helps support that, but that would be so bad.
It's weird. I can't get a heads or tail of like how they're supposed to play.
The dwarfs, yeah.
Dwarves. I'm worried they're going to be more elite than Space Marines, but not elite like Custodians, and it's going to be this middle ground that's not good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. I was telling Mel literally about this. Everyone's perceptions about them. And I don't know.
I think they're ugly, but that's me.
Well, perceptions as far as how they look, but also even their play style. You know,
Yeah.
everyone has like a really.
Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion.
Yep. I have the right one, but
I don't know what I think, to be honest. I really don't.
Well, thank you, Steel Yard.
Hey, oh, here we go. You guys ready for this?
No.
This is always crazy.
okay.
Okay.
Now I'm ready.
I'm not prepared for this. I feel like is Steel Yard a new character since
Yeah.
I've been gone a little while, Steel Yard. So hello, nice to meet you. 40K
Iseki.
Iseki.
It's
Yeah.
an anime type.
Oh no, Iseki. We have to stop that wedding. With those words, you activate the 1950s to 2025's car STC library. What car are you downloading and printing to get from Neo LA to New Vegas to stop that wedding?
Amazing. To 2025. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
But to the 1950s, so like the Model T is out.
yeah. You take that.
Can we take the plane the Wright brothers invented?
That is
Not of a car.
not a car. Also, not in this date range.
Exactly.
Might be.
There was not many wrong answers to this. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, Shane.
And you found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking a Shelby GT Mustang.
Oh, that's a good. I used my favorite car. I would take 1950. Yeah, I would take the original James Bond Aston Martin. It's classic.
I'd take the Pup and Suds car from Dumb and Dumber. It's like shaped like a dog.
Yeah. Oh, we know.
Yeah.
We know.
Pup and Suds.
Yeah.
I think we nailed that.
I think that was like the first car Tesla made.
What?
I think that was the original like model for the Tesla.
No.
Yeah, of course not.
Get out of here.
Thank
So
you.
serious,
Sleepy
I was
boy.
like, no. Thank you, Steely. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Knightsbane. Thoughts on Demon Monster Mash? Ran three by Keepers, Lord of Change, Bellicor in the previous codex. Is that type of list still viable?
Right.
The problem is it's all about the game's all about scoring, and one of Demon's most reliable scoring secondaries is Reality Rebels.
Yeah.
And you're just not playing that, and so it's just like your choice is you can kill super good with that list.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing actions, if you're not scoring, you're not gonna win. You can do good on grind it down, and that's about it.
You can grind. You could ritual or interrogate.
And Terry, but you're gonna be wanting to cast with most of your guys.
I know. Well, the keepers cast 2. There's 6 powers. No, I know. You're not wrong. And then Bellicor.
And can they? I guess depends if they can buff themselves with their casts.
A lot of them can't anymore.
Yep.
They were very careful.
It's cool. I think it's going to be a list that's out there and that's going to get popularity and get wins just based on how many of them people do.
Yeah.
People like building the least amount of numbers and winning the most games.
Yeah, it's just fun. So I'm painting up Shalaxi we did on Hobby Titans. I'm excited to play her because she's fun.
Yep.
She's pretty dope.
Yeah, she's pretty nasty.
Let's see.
She nasty.
I was gonna check. Yeah, they cast 2, so I feel like you could give up a Psycho Return to be able to play the game.
Play the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree though. I think they don't have secondaries built for it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's worse than it is right now.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I do think there's going to be just some lists that don't know how to deal with it.
True.
Yep. And
There's some lists that you won't be able to deal with in return.
yeah.
Which is kind
Also, the main thing is they don't get a lot of attacks. So it's like if you hit those high model numbers
Yeah.
or things that have debuffs, like
the keepers get 6, 10 attacks.
okay, I know nothing.
It's So, just casual 10 attacks.
Yeah.
The 4, that's right, the snapping claws, which are one of the 3 damage profiles, those are malefic now.
Malefic is crazy.
4 for 3 damage.
Yeah. And
I like it.
I'm not going to rule it out.
That they will get rid of it?
No, I think the Malefic completely works intended like that. I'm not going to rule out the Monster Mash list. I think...
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's going to be very annoying because you're like, I'm trying to play the game and do points and score, but they're going to just run through you and you're just not going to have anything to stop it and then win in the later half of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last one for the night. Thank you, Matthew Powell. Hey Titans, missed the stream. Going to go watch it soon. My question, are corn demons good enough to pull out of my pile of shame to paint?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Well knows.
Bloodthirsters they're nasty. I'm very worried about fighting them tomorrow.
It's gonna be so fun.
I had to break out Hellbrick just to kill them.
That's the only answer.
Yeah.
They're great. They score, they kill, they move.
They're efficiently priced, with great profiles.
The hounds I think are interesting.
Did you see their stratagem? If you have a hound, they're denied that the stop them from casting is on a 3-up.
Yeah. It's awesome. I like Karanak actually. I think even if you don't take hounds, you can take Karanak.
He's -2 to casting or something crazy.
I think he has 2 denies.
Yeah, he can deny himself.
He's cool, man.
The corn, I feel is designed very tight, that they have all the stratagems, relics, and warlord traits that they need. Yeah. The Bloodthirsters get a warlord trait, or is it a exalted, where they get capped at 8 wounds per phase.
It's exalted, which means
that
you can combine it, like I will tomorrow, with the warlord trait that gives a 5 of feeling pain.
Yeah.
And a relic, which I'll do tomorrow, that can heal up to 6 wounds in melee.
Yep.
Sounds like you're going to be a bully tomorrow.
No one beats me 5 times in a row. Had to go buy another box of Plague Marines.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll take you to the store.
Yep.
Well, that's it.
All right.
This has been a lovely evening. So
fun.
Much excitement for this book.
Yeah,
right?
I was glad to be back, and I'm really excited. I'm like, if I got started at Demons, it's hard choosing where it can where's the good point to start.
Yeah.
I look at all of them and I'm like, Slanesh Army would be really sick, but all Nurgle.
Right.
Yep.
Well, you do have the Gateway Drug, which is literally any Chaos Army.
Yep.
And that's all you need.
Yep.
Well, with that, again, thank you for a great game. We'll have another one tomorrow in the members game, so consider becoming a member. Come check that out. Welcome all the new members from our very generous supporters and donators. Mel, thank you for producing.
Of course, I'll be back tomorrow.
That's right. And thank you, all you fine people, for hanging out, chatting, donating, just being with us and celebrating this game that we love. That's going to do it for us. We'll catch you all next time on the Tabletop. Bye.
Bye.